Well, Trump's big, beautiful bill passed the U.S. House this morning, and it has traumatic effects for the transgender community and other people in the LGBTQ plus community. Welcome to Unapologetic Progressive. Let's talk about it. Now, we knew what this bill was going to be. We knew this bill was going to have giveaways to the billionaires and the corporations and the rich. We knew there would be cuts to programs that the poor need. We knew this. Cruelty is the point of the Republican Party these days. We know that. But many of us were unaware that there was going to be a complete ban on Medicare and the ACA from covering transition related care, gender affirming care. We did not know this was going to be in there. We knew there would be cuts to SNAP and things like that because they're cruel to people, right? We knew there was talk of a provision being added recently that would ban gender affirming care coverage through Medicaid and CHIP for minors. We knew we knew that was a possibility. But today, when the bill passed, we found out 2 hours before the bill passed, a provision was added to the bill that outright bans gender affirming care for anybody of any age, adult or minor, who is on Medicaid or the ACA. The ACA is a little more complicated. We'll talk about that later. But right now, we're going to talk about the fact that 25% of all LGBTQ people live at or below the poverty line, many of them qualifying for Medicaid through the Medicaid expansion. Now Medicaid can't be used to cover their gender-affirming care. But mind you, this doesn't ban gender-affirming care for anybody but trans people. If it's gender-affirming care because you're cisgender and something's not quite right, you can get that gender-affirming care. You need Viagra, it's covered. You need a surgery for gynecomastia, it's covered. Right? Those things are covered. And a number of other things that go around the world, the realm of, you know, affirming one's gender. Those things are legal. If you're cisgender, you're fine. But if you're trans, you're screwed. If this bill passes the Senate, which this provision probably will because the Republicans hate trans people for absolutely no reason, millions of people will suddenly find themselves without their gender affirming care. On Medicaid, it's an outright ban for anybody of any age. Period. End of story. That's going to hurt a lot of people. With so many people in the LGBTQ community relying on government programs for their health care, this is absolutely a horrific outcome. I don't understand why they have to do this. I don't get it. But I don't get it because I was looking forward to starting hormone therapy later this year if something like this didn't happen. Because my doctor told me at the time that I'd be able to get gender affirming care covered. Unfortunately, now it looks like I won't be able to because I'll probably lose my health care anyway, and it's going to be banned anyhow, right? Now for the ACA, why is it a little different? Well, what they did with the ACA, they didn't outright say these companies couldn't cover it, but they took it out of what would be required. And we all know for 99% of health insurance companies, if they aren't required to cover it, they likely won't cover it. Right? We know this. This is just fact. Right? If they don't have to cover it, they generally don't cover it. And they've taken that language out of the ACA, saying now that the ACA plans don't have to cover it. And that's just a start. I guarantee you they are looking for ways to completely ban any ACA plan at all. But from my understanding right now is that if this bill was to pass, that the insurance companies wouldn't be required to, but could still cover it if they so chose to do so. But with the pressure they are receiving from the Trump administration, this probably would not happen regardless. So this is obviously a de facto ban on gender affirming care for all people on any kind of government subsidy healthcare plan of any kind. And this is unethical. It's wrong. It's devoid of all moral integrity because this is going to hurt millions of people. You're going to put millions of people at risk for unaliving themselves, especially those people that have severe gender dysphoria. Because let me be clear, gender affirming care isn't just surgeries. It's not just cross-sex hormones or puberty blockers or any of that. It's also psychological, right? It's also the people that you go and see, the psychological professionals you go to see to help you navigate whether or not transition is right for you. Gender affirming care isn't just the surgeries and the medications. It's the counseling, things like that. Now, I'm sure a lot of counselors out there, a lot of psychiatrists and such like that, that that help these people, that help trans people, will find a way to still see their people. I've been told that by other people in the field, that they would likely find a way around still helping their clients. They just wouldn't bill them as transgender or gender affirming care. But it's terrifying as a trans person right now, and I don't understand it. I don't understand why why the cruelty has to be the point of the Republican Party. I don't understand this. Even though I haven't started yet, my first thought was, what about those people that got on hormones, for example, were able to get their hormones, and for the first time in their lives, their dysphoria lessened, that they felt right in their body for the first time, and now you're going to take that away from them? You're going to take away their hormone treatments and their counseling and everything else at the same time? How's that even ethical? For the group of people that seem to think being transgender is some kind of mental illness, they sure don't want you to seek care for it, do they? And yes, many times, especially, people end up transitioning because it's what's right for them. And who are you or I to tell somebody else what's right for them? I see a lot of trans people that I interact with on TikTok and YouTube and Facebook, and they're all from different walks of life. They all look different. Some of them maintain their body hair, some of them don't. Some of them, some of them, some of them wear makeup, some don't. But they know who they are more than any legislator in Congress is going to know. Like, what are we doing? Now, this bill does have a rocky road to being passed. They're going to use reconciliation, which allows them to pass the bill on a 51-49 basis. That's what they're going to be able to how they're going to be able to pass it. But they do have 3 or 4 holdouts in the Republican Party that are worried about the cuts to Medicaid and SNAP hurting the people in their state, and the fact that they would possibly lose their jobs if this gets passed through the Senate and signed by the president. But the problem is this provision will probably remain no matter what we do. But I can tell you right now that I do not support this. And if you're one of those people out there that do support this, you've got problems. Because all transgender people are trying to do is survive. All we're trying to do is live. And if you're okay with this, then I'm not okay with you, and you can unsubscribe from this channel. Because I'm done fighting against idiots. I'll stand up to the Nazi party that we have running in this country right now. I'll keep fighting because I'm not going anywhere. I guarantee you that right now. Because I am not going anywhere. Because I don't fight for just me. I don't fight for me. I fight for the people that are growing up behind me, right? For the people, the younger people in this country. Those are the people that I'm fighting for. And no matter how down I get, no matter how beaten down I feel because of the bills being passed, I will continue to fight for the trans community, regardless of if I'm able to get gender affirming care that I need or not. I will be here fighting for my community. And if you will join me in that fight, please hit that subscribe button and leave a comment on this video. Thank you. I'll see you down the road.